Life as a swine producer involves many challenges. High feed costs, fluctuating prices for pigs, high medicine costs, as well as the environmental concerns. Most of the above challenges can be addressed by controlled fermented liquid feeding, known as CFLF. After we started with fermentation, we have been able to reduce our protein consumption by 20%. A known dominating lactic acid bacteria, known as LAB, is added to the byproduct at the factory that has produced it in order to reach the same goal every time. This LAB-charged byproduct is then used to inoculate the feed for the pigs at the farm. In CFLF, Salmonella, E. coli and Lawsonia are eliminated without the use of medicines, as they cannot survive because the pH level is below 4.0. If used correctly, Fermentationexperts guarantees that these foodborne organisms will not be fed in CFLF rations if their protocols are adhered to. Since we started with fermentation, we have reduced our phosphor consumption by 50%. Our salmonella counts were always low, but now they are 0, and our mortality, which was always an acceptable level, has been reduced further to 1.2%. Being able to use large proportions of alternative feed components, keeping our feed costs low, we have been able to get a fast return on the investment of the fermented feeding equipment. Veterinarian Michael Johns also acknowledges the implementation of CFLF given to the stock of Henrik Mols. Here we have a very interesting situation where I have been the vet for the last 2 years. It runs with fermented feeding using almost 100% byproducts. We have been focusing on gastric health that has been the prior problem and concerned that it may increase, but it has decreased. Today we have almost no Lawsonia and we use no medication in the feed, whereas before we used 3 to 6 days treatment to start them up. Today we only use single animal treatment. We have an acceptable feed conversion of 2.7 and pigs are taken up to a heavy pig. Daily gains of 850 grams, but we will not try to grow them any faster as they are not allowed to produce more pigs than they do today. In the old days, some farmers soaked their pig feed in water overnight as they found that the pigs ate better and gained more weight, but they didn't know why. Today we know why. The minerals bound in the feed are released, making them more available to the pig, all depending on the pH, temperature and the feed ingredients. In CFLF, most of the phosphorus is made available to the pig's digestive system, as well as most other bound minerals. With fermentation, we have removed phosphorus from the feed. Our feed conversion has been improved to 2.6, with an improved daily gain of 950 grams. And we have no salmonella, no E. coli, and no Lawsonia. All over, we are very satisfied. With CFLF, it is possible to adjust the feed to the cheapest primary products on the market. If the pig's intestine tract health is good, the feed used may be mainly wheat and the use of oats can be eliminated. This will often reduce feed costs. It certainly applies for the piglet that is normally fed with expensive rations. My experience with fermentation when I started using it was that the pigs had Lawsonia because we had protein release in the feed. Today we have been able to reduce the protein concerns with a 20% reduction. We have also reduced our mortality, and my general experience with fermentation is that the gastric health has improved with Lawsonia being easier to avoid. And today we are using less medicine. We started with fermentation after we visited a farm in Denmark, giving us a good feeling. Why should we not do it, we thought? All the advantages made a big impression on us, and we can confirm that the majority are now working on our farm. We started up with the finisher, as this was the cheapest area to do. After 3 to 4 months, we decided to begin with the sows, even though the costs were higher, investments in fermentations, tanks, and so on. We would never have done it if we did not think that we could get a payback on the investment. There are many pitfalls with CFLF. Therefore, the best results are achieved if fermentation experts are consulted from the very beginning of the construction of a liquid feed installation. The advantages of using fermented feed from fermentation experts are intestine health control, improved daily gains, preventing diseases, less minerals used, the best preservation of the feed, freeing of up to 15% protein, low bacterial pressure, cheaper feed, and better economy. After we started using fermented feed with byproducts, we reached our goal. We wanted cheap feed and a good health, a good feed conversion, low mortality, and a good bottom line. That's the reason we go to work every day, and I can confirm we have succeeded.